oh, dude, this is a fun weight, man. This is kind of a fun weight. Dude, this thing is heavy. So Click Clack sent this to us. They're sponsoring today's stream, but as per usual, that's not going to affect anything that I think about or talk about here. This is a $385 keyboard. It comes in either a WinKey or WinKey list layout. It has 8 colors, including raw. So it has champagne pink, silver, blue, red, cream yellow, gray blue, seafoam green, and raw. All the colors are really nice, with the exception of blue, because I don't like blue. And it comes with either a 1.6mm PCB soldered or 1.6mm PCB hot swap. I did look at some of the breakdowns, like the front height of this board is 19.33, which is in the sweet spot, 7-degree typing angle. It is a heavy, heavy keyboard. You know, it's gonna be a top mount, so we'll see how this all performs today. But here it is, the Lotus. Comes with a nice little box, no carrying case, which was a bit of a bummer. And then we got, I think we got a hot swap PCB I saw. Yeah, we have our hot swap PCB here. Oh, I didn't take it out of the package. This is actually a really nice PCB. This is a really pretty PCB. In terms of what the hot swap has, it has a fixed spacebar, which is bummer, I guess. Do they have what the solder PCB is gonna be like? I don't know what this trend has been with fixed PCBs. No, the solder, okay, this is gonna be fixed no matter what. The only reasoning I can think of why this is fixed is because it comes in a WinKey list as well. Would have been nice to see both though. I know this is 7U, and I appreciate that because I like it, but if some people like 6.25U, again, I'm seeing this trend a lot lately. There are sometimes reasons for it, but I think you can still manage to put that at least on the solderable PCB. This does have less options than the solder PCB, so it looks like the solder PCB will have some split backspace, ISO support, split left, and all that jazz. This only has split right and step caps. We also have some foam, which we're probably not going to use today. And then we have the keyboard. Now, this keyboard is so deceiving because, again, I looked at this on photos, and I've known about this keyboard for quite a while. Oh. This keyboard has an insane weight to it. It is a big chunk of material. It's kind of intimidating. Look at this thing. It is like the base of the keyboard. Comes with a little thank you card. Oh my God. This is my first time opening it too. So the Anno looks really good. I don't know who their manufacturer is. Oh, dude, this is a fun weight, man. This is kind of a fun weight. Dude, this thing is heavy. Ooh, I like the back here too. This is nice. I like the little gap they're giving us between these two. I think this kind of separates it really nicely. There's a nice little cut around the USB-C, which looks really pretty there too. And then it kind of tapers down. The side profile is pretty standard looking, but I do think this taper down the center here, I think that gives it some character. Here's the top. This is the only thing aesthetically I don't love about this keyboard. How it says Lotus. I think I don't like keyboards that tell me the name of the keyboard on the front of the keyboard, like I'm gonna forget what I bought. I think that's always been my thing. I think I've said that for like years. It just says, oh my God, it just says Lotus, like right over here. Yeah, with a little gold leaf. I think if they had just done a gold leaf, that could have been cool, or left it something else, or a badge, and they could have moved the word. If they really wanted Lotus, I think it could have been over here. To each their own though, I feel like this is preference. You may not like this, maybe you love this a lot, but this is a really nice color, really nice Anno on this that I'm seeing so far. The shape of the board, I mean, pretty standard fare here. I'd say pretty standard bezels for boards here. The weight is crazy on this though. Like to have the brass over here and then also a stainless piece, like this is crazy. And this comes in at $385. For the big chunk of material you get here, I think this is, oh my God, dude, this is heavy. If I could give them one suggestion aesthetically right now that I actually think will be a positive aesthetic change, clear feet. I think these are way too contrasty for the board. Way too contrasty. But I do appreciate these type of feet. I like these the best. These are really nice. But I think clear feet would have been way better of a choice. And that's an easy change to make. This also has a hidden screw design, which I don't mind this because it looks like there's enough space. This shouldn't interfere. You shouldn't need to like trim switches to get this to work. Again, I know I have it on the Manta as well. I still don't think it's my favorite, but sometimes it has a choice that like needs to be made. Oh, that's cool. They got a little bit of the design on the inside too. They got like a lotus leaf. I appreciate that. Subtle detail. Fox Lab logo on the inside and on the outside. Again, we don't think we need both of those. Ooh, I do like the pogo pin connector here. Very nice. Nice thing about this pogo pin connector, it looks like it's done well because this moves around, so it shouldn't cause any hard spots on the keyboard, which is perfect. You don't want that. You want this to have a little bit of play. Great, great. And then the weight, oh my goodness, this piece is huge. The weight is like thick, dude. Have you ever hit a keyboard on the bottom and made that sound? There is gonna be hopefully no aluminum metallic-y noises from this. This is dense, dude. Tisk tisk, guys. Phillips head? Really? Okay, this is a proto unit and a mounting point under the spacebar. If I could offer some suggestions here, I think maybe the screws are less of a worry, but usually for top mount, you don't want to put any mounting points under the spacebar. Usually that's kind of a bad thing. Top mount ends up becoming very stiff feeling if you put a mounting point under the spacebar. Yeah, it makes it really stiff. It's like a bad feeling, plus it just doesn't sound very good when you do that. At least to my preference. If you were to stack this with foam, then it might sound phenomenal, but I don't know what material this is. It's some sort of plastic, but I'm guessing they put this because a lot of the times on TKLs, I'm guessing this is to essentially be a force break in some way. But on TKLs, I usually have this like gripe that I've pointed out a bunch of times, where on this little T section right over here, I tend to get like a metallic-y noise. Sometimes the plate touches it. Sometimes it's just, it just doesn't sound good in that section. So this could be a really interesting way to solve that. I never thought of doing something like that. That is really cool, actually. Interesting. I wonder how this will affect the plate. Well, I guess let's start assembling our PCB. We shall see how this sounds. I guess I should put on those gaskets too, huh? All right, so I'm gonna try it with this first, and we'll take this off if this sounds like shit. I still think this is a bad idea to put this here. This is nice looking. All right. It's a champagne colorway. Oh, this does look nice. I'm gonna put my foot down and we're doing Hooty today. All right, so these are the butterfly linears. I do not like how the spacebar feels. I don't even care how well it sounds right now. So this is with an aluminum top mounted plate. Ooh, actually, okay, hold on. Before I do a little typing test on this, typically with TKLs, I hate the spacebar. Or the backspace rather. Dude, I think that little piece of plastic force brake they put on the plate was really smart. Typically, I find this section of the keyboard to be very tinny. All right, let's see how this sounds now. I do not like the way the spacebar feels. I like the way everything else sounds. I'm going to open this back up and do what I want to do to the spacebar. I am not a fan of the way the spacebar feels on this. I also feel like they should open up plastic plates for the top mount too. I think that I would have much preferred this with a plastic plate personally, but it is all right. Let's just take this apart for now and let's get inside the keyboard one more time here. Ryan, I actually don't think it's the switch's fault for the spacebar. I really think it's because there's a mounting point, like, I can't remember if it's here or here. It's one of the two areas here. The mounting point is making the spacebar feel really stiff, as well as it's also making it sound really flat. Weird decision on their part to include that there. Oh, there, it came out. Didn't even see that. Okay. Let's try this again. All right, now with the screw under the spacebar removed. So different. It sounds way better. It's actually good now, but there's still a little bit of a secondary tick that I think it's from the plate going probably down just like literally a hair and then back up. And then it's causing a secondary noise because the plate is probably hitting the top case because it's not like the tab is removed. Yeah, it's on the upstroke or it's something. I don't know if it's on the downstroke as well. I think it's as the plate settles. Okay, there's still a little bit of that rattle I'm noticing. I still think that's the mounting point and not the stabilizer itself. But this is 1,000 times better. I actually like the way this sounds now. So much better. Let's try with a cherry switch as well. I feel like a cherry switch on the spacebar might be a sweet move here. We got a vintage cherry switch we'll pop in. I mean, yeah, I like the cherry switch with the aluminum plate for top mount here. Overall, if they remove this one tab on the bottom, and again, this is to my liking, so please keep that in mind while I'm saying this. I think if they got rid of that, this would be a solid top mount. It sounds so full, and I will probably accredit that to this giant piece of material over here. The span of the entire keyboard back is a big weight. I like it. It sounds really good. I do think there's some fuck-ups though. I do think, for example, the plate, we need to remove that tab. I also think when it comes down to the plate or the way this case is screwed into, I feel like when I'm looking at some of these cases for top mount especially, I kind of like for top mount, and if you move the case screw, okay, I'm struggling to hold this, just a little bit over. I feel like that would help as well. Other than that, this is a really nice top mount. Aesthetically, I don't love the Lotus thing over here. It's all right. I do wish they opened up the PCB on the solder unit at the very least to give us some spacebar options. If someone wanted a 6.25U Win key, you're just not getting it, period. So I would have liked that. They also could have included some different plates. Like, give us the option to buy different plates with this. It would have been nice, but we don't have any options to buy different plates at all. Here's the keyboard from the back. Ooh, it's a chunky boy. This kind of, you know what this kind of gives me? Like U80 vibes without it being a U80 for some reason. I mean, the U80 had thicker bezels, but this is a chunky keyboard, dude. Oh, and then also the Phillips head screws are a no-no. I would probably switch those. That and the mounting point, absolutely change. Those are my absolute change pieces for this keyboard. If they don't change the Phillips head screws, I'd be pretty sad. Although I will say a lot of times prototypes come with Phillips head screws, so perhaps this is just a prototype thing. Oh god, dude, this is so heavy. See, I like the machining in the flower as well, like the Lotus flower. I think they did a really good job there. They did a really good job with the weight design. I think the weight design is really fun. I don't love how big Fox Lab is on the back. I think that's a little bit egregious, a little bit too much. I personally feel it's kind of gigantic. They could make that smaller, in my humble opinion. Doesn't even need to be there. And then they have Lotus here. Actually, I totally forgot this is here. They have Lotus here and then Lotus again on the top in a different typeface. That kind of bugs me, actually. Just okay, if I'm asking you anything, just get rid of the word Lotus. Get rid of the word Lotus, put a Lotus flower, even this little, like, Lotus leaf. You can leave that. But, like, why do we have Lotus here and then Lotus again on the back in a different typeface? You could have just put it there. We don't need to be reminded what this keyboard is. There are some gripes I have with it. If you can get over the Lotus thing, like, I'm sure this probably doesn't matter to some people. If you wanted a heavy keyboard, this might be the first one in a long time that I've done. All right, have a good one, guys. Love you. Thanks for tuning in today. If you guys are considering the Lotus80, go pick it up on Click Clack. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good one. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.